Hey everyone, Bas from Cordis SUITE here. Would you also like to create custom behavior while your system is already deployed? Keep watching this video because I will show you how this is done with our recipe builder that's already integrated in the Cordis SUITE platform. So in the bottom right corner we can see the washing machine simulation, and in the top right corner we can see the Cordis dashboard where the washing machine model is loaded into. So we can see a top level washing machine that consists, for example, of a drum, and the drum consists of the motor. Then on the left side we see the Cordis SUITE recipe builder, where the same washing machine model has been loaded into. So we can see a washing machine, and for example here we see the drum again, and the drum consists of the motor. So the same model has been loaded in. So we as Cordis SUITE see the model as a single source of truth. And what do we mean with that? We mean with that the model is the only truth there is. So from the same model we can generate code that is deployed on the controller, and from which we can see the simulation right now for the washing machine. But also this model has been used to dynamically load in the model in our Cordis dashboard and also in the Cordis recipe builder. So from within the Cordis recipe builder we can access all system components and also control them. So let's show you the capabilities and possibilities of the Cordis recipe builder by creating a custom washing program. So for our custom washing program we would like the lights to mimic a traffic light. So on the bottom left corner we can search for certain commands. So let's search for a switch on. So we have the orange light for the switch on, then the green light for a switch on, and then the red light for a switch on. So let's start with switching on the red light, and we can add a wait time. So we can add a wait time for example, 2000 milliseconds, so 2 seconds. So right now the red light will be turned on for 2 seconds, and then we want to switch it off and then switch on the orange light. So switch on the orange light, and then when we want to copy and do a wait time for 2 seconds once more. After that we want to switch off the orange light and switch on the green light. And for the same amount of time, and after that we want to turn off the green light as well. So right now we have dynamically created behavior for mimicking a traffic light. So once created this recipe we can save it, and we could call it light starting sequence. So since we have now created some custom behavior for the light, we would like to fill up the drum with water and bring this water on temperature. So let's create one more recipe. So before we can fill the drum with water, we should enable the inlet pump. And we can do this by drag and dropping the enable command on the panel. Then we would like to start this pump by dragging and dropping the start command. So now we have started the pump with pumping in water into the drum. But currently it will do it forever. But we have to create a certain condition for when to stop pumping in water. So let's go to the I requested water level, and we would like to have a condition where it checks whether the actual water level is greater or equal to 30. And once we have achieved a water level that is greater or equal to 30, we would like to stop the pump from pumping. So now we have filled up the drum with at least 30 liters of water, and now we would like to heat up the water to a certain temperature. So we can do this by going to the temperature control and going to its commands, and first enabling it. And then we set the temperature to a certain temperature. So let's choose a temperature of 40 degrees. So once again we want a condition to check whether the water has been heated up to the desired temperature. So we can go to the observers and drag on the actual temperature and check whether the actual temperature is, let's say, 39 degrees or higher. So now we are done, and we can save this recipe once again. So within the Cordis recipe builder you can have recipes that include subrecipes. So let's now create a full custom washing cycle recipe that include the 2 sub-recipes we have just created for blinking the lights and filling up the drum with water and heating up this water. So you can do this by clicking on the add recipe button and first selecting the light starting sequence. And then we can see the recipe we have created in the beginning. Then we can also add the other recipe that we have created, where we fill up the drum with water and then heat up this water. So now we have a custom washing program where we first blink the light mimicking a traffic light, and then we fill up the drum with water and heat up this water. So I've already created some other recipes as well that we can include in the total recipe. So let's add the washing sequence recipe. So in this recipe we start a motor with a speed of 50, and then we stop and spin it in the other direction, and then we are done. Then we add one more recipe where we will pump out the water. And finally we can add our last recipe where we do some fancy flashing of lights to show that we have finished our washing cycle. So now we have created our custom washing cycle behavior, and we can execute this behavior with the Cordis dashboard. So we can load in this recipe and execute it. And then right here we can see the mimicking of the traffic light, and now it will execute the full sequence of the recipe. So now it's filling up the water, which is in the prepare water recipe. So it's filling up the water until it has reached a total amount of 30 liters. So let's wait for a few seconds. So now it has reached the total amount of liters. It will bring the water to our desired temperature, which was in this case 40. So now it's in the washing sequence recipe where it will spin the motor in both directions. After this, it will go into the pumping out water recipe where we will enable the pump outlet, and then we will pump out the water until we have reached a water level that is less than 1 liters. So we have almost pumped out the water, and now we go into our fancy light sequence that we have created in our last recipe. So I have showed you how you can use the Cordis Recipe Builder to dynamically create custom behavior while your system is already deployed. This means that you do not have to change your control software anymore to create custom behavior. You can do this dynamically with drag and dropping and using the Recipe Builder. If you would like to see more features of the Cordis Suite, then please subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you next time.